You said you worked on your leadership. What specifically have you actually done?
Yeah, so my year out of the game with the ACL, I worked really hard on my leadership and what that looks like in terms of helping others. And obviously I couldn't get out in the field, I couldn't train, so I had to find a way to impact the group. So just looked at how I can help younger guys. I know that year Wayne Miller came into the halfback role, so helping him and just seeing how I can give myself to others and help out. And that sort of transitioned into last year playing and also giving time to others, and just sort of developed from there and got to the position I'm in now. So keen to keep learning and working closely with guys like Sloaney, Lynchy, who've had a long time in the role. So hopefully I can get better and better and lead the club going forward.
Is that similar for you, Tom? Obviously, with your year out, you did all the work with the Stanford boys last year.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what he said in the sense of I was working with the young boys, specifically the defenders, Butts, Shoal and Hamill, but just in terms of the whole team and the coaching staff and being that bond in between. Obviously it's had an influence on the group, and that's why I'm up here. But I learned a lot from Smithers during his rehab about how to go about it and how to still be a part of the team, and then tried to channel that into this year, and these are the results.
What does each of your respective leaderships look like? What sort of feel will you bring to the group?
I'm pretty laid back, so I'll try and bring some enjoyment to it. I think I've got a good connection amongst the group and good relationship with the players, so hopefully I can be someone that's really approachable for them to come to me, whether it's on field, off field. They can come have a chat and I can help them as much as I can. So a lot of Nixie's philosophy is about how can you help other people and make others better. So that's what I'll try and bring to the group and hopefully do it in an enjoyable way.
Mine's probably more about the energy and positivity. Try to always just keep a smile going, but then obviously keep developing the relationships that I spoke about before, just with those younger boys. I've got a fairly good relationship with the older guys and the younger guys now that coaching in the sample, but just keep developing that to a point where, like Smithers said, we can have conversations with them about on and off field stuff and just keep progressing their careers as well as mine.
Brodie, can I follow up on that?
Yes.
Absolutely. You mentioned the need to have a laugh and stuff. Is that even more important now, given what's happened in the last year or so? I mean, you guys have gone through a bit of uncertainty.
I think so. At times, it can be pretty stressful around here, around footy clubs, and especially in Adelaide, or expectations on the team and on the club. So, as I said, I don't like to take too much too seriously. So if I can try and bring some enjoyment to it, but obviously there's going to be times when we're really going to have to knuckle down. But I'll just try and be myself, and that's the role that I have to fill. So if I can help guys along the way and make people better and have fun doing it, then I'll try my best to do that.
I was going to say, you have to rein in the sort of larrikinism a little bit now that you're a vice captain or whatever it is called.
Well, that's sort of been my growing in the last couple of years. Probably taken my maturity levels from an 18-year-old to I might be at 24 now, even though I'm 28. So I'll still keep working on that. But you definitely got to find the balance and pick your times to have a laugh and be serious. But I'll still be pranking guys like the Rat and that sort of thing. Don't worry.
Connection's been such a buzzword in footy the last few years. You talked about developing relationships. How important do you think that is to leadership now? I guess particularly you, Brodie, who's been in the team for so long.
I think it's huge, and Nixie's shown that the way he's come into the group, and we've really come together, and he's really driven this team first environment, and not about so much making yourself better, but how do you make someone else better. So the team's really brought into that, and there's a lot of compliments being thrown around. Everyone's making each other feel pretty good and making each other better. So the environment's been a really good place to be around, and that's come through that connection. So I guess for myself, it's I've played a lot of footy with Tex and Sloaney, these guys, and I've got the trust and respect from them. But I also like spending time with the younger guys as well, and as you said, being a bit of larrikin with them, but also gaining their trust and relationship so I can help them going forward.
Tom, were you a bit sort of blown away by this? Like, given you've only played 20 senior games, I've only been in the club 3 or 4 years now, but for a guy of your age, 20 senior games in the leadership group, it's not done all that often.
Yeah. I wouldn't say blown away is the right word, just because of the sort of feedback and stuff I got at the end of the year. It was all positive in that regard, in the leadership aspect of it. But yeah, still humbling and still sort of a little bit thrown back by it, just because of the fact that it was voted by the group and the football staff as well. So I've obviously got respect in those categories. But yeah, playing only 20 games, it's a sort of just a good feeling to have that respect from different avenues. So not just being a good player and leading on the field, but also being able to do things off the field.
What did you make of Tex and Tales's decision to sort of step back, and why is it important that they did step back?
I think it shows where this group's at the moment, and as I said, Nixie's come in and driven this team first environment, and then we get to a leadership group decision, and you got two guys that have been in the leadership group for so long put their hand up and say we want someone else to have a go. So guys like myself and Tommy to come in and have a crack and I guess take that next generation forward in that leadership group. So just a massively selfless act from those two, and no doubt there'll still be leaders in the club, and we'll still lean on them at times and get plenty of advice, and I'm sure they'll give us a chop out at times as well. But I think that really sums up where this group's at the moment.
Brodie, what have you seen from Tom that gives you confidence that after 20 games he's essentially close to a vice captain?
Yeah, well, we've seen the way Tommy plays and how he leads on the field, the way he reads the game, and then obviously last year I've been through the same situation, and the way he went to their SNFL every week and helped out the young guys and showed his professionalism and leadership there, and talk about maturity. He's probably been a 30-year-old since he got here. So, but also the way he'll dissect the game, and if you follow him on Twitter, he dissects movies and NFL players and whatnot. So I'm sure he'll be in Nixie's office dissecting the game, and for someone that reads it so well, that'll really help us.
Did your relationship blossom last year, given that you'd been through a similar thing 12 months earlier?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, we've had a few chats
We're
about
always good
ACLs,
buds.
and
yeah, especially early days, you sort of not soul searching. That's not the right word, but you're just sort of sitting on the couch thinking what's to come in the coming few months. And obviously we've had Otto and Camilla Shulman and Tex come through, and they've been with me as well. But Smithers being the most recent, just had that that recent information and advice that helped me get through those early stages, and just sort of a bit of a light to look to and realise where my next steps are and how I'm going to get to back playing as quick as I can. So it brought us closer in a sense, and thankful for his support.
Tell us about your footy, road back to footy. Where are you at? Where are you targeting?
Still targets round one, coming along well. Knees feeling good, everything's feeling good. Just need to keep progressing into match sim and then into a good probably 3 weeks full of training, and then look at Marsh series from there.
What does that look like on the track at the moment for you personally?
Do pretty much everything except for the full intensity stuff, and then I just go to the side and do the same intensity and contact, just more in a controlled environment with the physios. So just about there.
Is it the same for you as it is with a lot of other people that have done their knee? You feel like you're right there, but you just have to keep being held back?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you went through the same thing, but yeah, I feel ready to go, and I'm just sort of taking the advice of the professionals, because that's what they're there for. But it feels like if I needed to, I could go, but we've still got time, so there's no need to rush it at this stage.